so many expansive modalities from breathwork, kriya, meditation, yagya, and Jyotish, which I've had the beauty of being able to study with you. And, I've really noticed that when you share Jyotish readings with people that it can really transform people's lives. So how can we use Jyotish to access our limitless potential? And can you help us understand the balance between what is predetermined by our charts and what is in the realm of free will?
So Jyotish is referring to the science, it means science of light. Jyoti is light. Jyotish, ish comes from that root ishta, what is. And the is itself. So Jyotish is the light of self. It sheds light on who we are. Within the tradition, the first teacher who's considered of Jyotish was Prashara, one of the main teachers of Prashara, who is the father of Vyasa. And so Brihat Prashara Hora becomes one of the fundamental scriptures on Jyotish. Now, Jyotish cannot be understood in isolation. It cannot be understood, as I said before, these are all branches of the tree. Just like your right arm is not a step to your body. It's not just, I just use the left arm. The right arm is irrelevant. I taught you left arm, just use your left arm. Right arm is no good. No, it is, you can learn a lot with your left arm, but it is always helpful if you were given a choice. At least all of us who have both the arms, we would use both arms, right? So Jyotish arises from that whole understanding. It cannot be taken in isolation. If you're practicing Jyotish in isolation, it is absolutely useless and it should not be practiced. It's irrelevant. It is only relevant when it is practiced within the context of the whole spiritual tradition of the Vedas. It's a Veda Anga. It's called the eye of the Veda that helps us cognize the Veda. And Veda's base meaning is the knowledge of self. Now, when we're talking about self, there is two fundamental expressions to self. There is the timeless self. Yet our fundamental experience of life is in time, isn't it? That's all we experience, time. First breath, last breath, that's when we have no time. In between, that's all we have, time, is it not? From the moment of birth to the moment of death, time is all we got. So Jyotish becomes the study of time. Now in time, and right now we are in time, is it not? And so we look at this moment and then we question free will and predeterminism. So in this moment, if you pay attention to this moment, is it free will or is it predetermined? Exactly, both, right? Because it cannot be just free will, because that would be extremely naive and arrogant. Oh, it's all just free will, it's me only. It's like me saying, if I don't look at the moon, there is no moon. There's others looking at the moon, isn't it? The earth is, even if let's say all human beings cease to be, will the moon cease to be? No, the moon will exist. Even though consciousness collapses the particle and wave function, the consciousness is not just hinged upon a human nervous system. Consciousness is all pervading. So when we look at our life in this moment, we are in this moment, and let's take a deep breath in. Everybody, can we take a deep breath in? And let's exhale into the future. Where are we? Future. Wow, the most distant future. Is it 12th today?
12.
Sometimes when you ask a date, you have to think about it. Isn't it? 12th of August, 2024. 2023, 12th of August. That's really far ahead, right? And then we breathe again, and we breathe out. Future, 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 future. And all we are doing is just sitting here and breathing. And future is coming to us. And am I creating that as an isolated value of awareness? No. There's a whole intelligence at work. For us to be here, there had to be a million things exactly the way they are for us to be here. Is it not? Your parents had to have that monkey business. It's strange to think about your parents getting it on. But that's the laws of biology. Second chakra has to get active. And here we are. Right?
Yeah.
I forgot I'm married now. For us to be here, there have to be so many things the way they are. So we realize, when you really pay attention, you realize free will and predeterminism are not opposing forces. Those are not only opposing forces when you have someone else. That is there someone else predetermining everything? No. There is only the self. But the self has not to be understood as myself. It's the self of all selves. Right? So as you are in this moment, we are encountering the future. But how do we encounter the future? We encounter the future the way we are. It's happening in our consciousness. Yes or no? As you shift your consciousness, how you experience the so-called future, which you only meet in the present, also changes. So ultimately, there is only free will. But that free will is not based on the circumstances, but rather on the experiencer. And so Jyotish is designed to give you insight on the experiencer, not on the experience, but on the experiencer, the self, and how you process the energies that flow through you, and how you can manage your own system. When you can learn about that, then you get to have a greater understanding of yourself. But is it not, you all can testify to that. Aren't we the most complex creatures? Aren't you surprised by yourself? How many of you are surprised by yourself? By your reactions and responses to things? Like you wake up one day and you're just like feeling not good. You did your meditation, but you still are feeling off. Has anybody ever had that? Yes. You even had a coffee. After you were asked the question, what are you after? Right? A piccolo, I said. And so you realize that, there is parts of myself which, when I flow through time, I respond differently. And even though sometimes people think they know themselves totally, ask the people they are in relationship with. Yes or no? I'm sure all of you have encountered people who think, I know myself, I'm the enlightened one. Just ask their wife or their husband or their brother or their mother. Yes or no? And so we have to know ourselves. There are parts of ourselves which we do not know. So Jyotish is just designed to help, is one of the tools from this incredible tradition. Just one of the tools. It's not some magic wand. It's just a tool to help us gain deeper insight into ourselves and help gain, with this help of this understanding, a higher expression of ourselves. Because that's ultimately our purpose here, from the yogic perspective, is to grow. Right? And that's what Jyotish is about. So free will and predeterminism are not opposing values. And that's why we teach in India that ultimately you don't create your future. You meet your future. But which future you will meet is up to you. Right? Because you manage your consciousness and the future just comes. It just comes along. That's all it's designed in such a way, just unwinding. And we just be ourselves and future keeps coming. So if we are shifting here, then we can encounter a much more pleasant future.